Day being the 1st of August 2023. I believe, and it's my understanding, that there is going to be an application that the tribunal be adjourned, and dates have been discussed, but we will first hear from those representing Judge Makhubele as to their applications. Thank you.
Good afternoon, members of the tribunal. My name is Eric Mabuza. I'm the attorney for Judge Makhubele. I'm with my colleague, Mr. Sibui and Ms. Mdebele. Members of the tribunal, you would have seen from the correspondence that we've addressed to the tribunal as well as to our colleagues, really asking for an indulgence from the tribunal to grant us an indulgence in a form of a postponement so that we can resolve matters which the judge has with the state attorney regarding the funding of her defense. For quite some time, we've had discussions with members of the state attorney, and we have now escalated the matter to the Solicitor General to find a resolution of that matter. There isn't it as if there's a dispute between the parties. We've just not had a communication from the state attorney. And as a result of these challenges, we've not been able to secure counsel to proceed with the matter, and we've tried everything in our power to try and find a solution, but sadly the situation has become intolerable for counsel to continue under the circumstances. Ourselves, we've made ourselves available to come before you so that we could express the situation. We've not, so to say, left the stall. We've come out of respect for the tribunal as well as for the dignity of Judge Makhubele, so that she's not left without any representation. But that's a difficulty that we find ourselves in, and we have thought that we need some time to resolve the matter with the state attorney, and we've indicated to our colleagues we have some preliminary dates which we think the tribunal should resume its work. We don't expect the tribunal to give us a postponement without a date. I think it's only reasonable that we set a date so that Judge Makhubele could sort out challenges with the state attorney. And we had proposed and agreed with our colleagues that the week of the 13th to 17th of November would suit all of us to resume with the hearing, with the evidence of Judge Makhubele.
If I may just put this question, the postponement or adjournment is being sought so that the attorneys for Judge Makhubele can sort out their position with the state attorney. Is that
not the attorneys, but Judge Makhubele herself can resolve the issue of funding with the state attorney. You would recall that the agreement is between the judge and the state attorney. Yeah.
And assuming that that is not sorted out by, well, sometime before the 13th November, do you know what will then happen on the 13th November?
We will leave that to the tribunal to decide what should happen. But what we had discussed with our colleagues is that we should perhaps come back to the tribunal way before the 13th of November. We had discussed about the date of 29 September to give feedback to the tribunal as to what has been resolved and what other efforts or what course of action Judge Makhubele would want to embark upon in the event of there being no agreement with the state attorney?
Do I understand from what you say that if there's no agreement with the state attorney by the 29th of September, you or your firm or counsel will not be available on the 13th of November to represent Judge Makhubele? We would like to know what is going to happen on the 13th of November.
I certainly know that if the council's fees are not sorted and the situation remains as it is, council won't be available unless there are other alternative arrangements that the judge would have made with council. But as matters stand now, I don't imagine council being available.
Well, what I want to impress upon you is this, that we can understand the difficulty that Judge Makhubele finds herself in today. But come the 13th of November, that's the date agreed upon, the tribunal will sit and will proceed with whatever has to be done. The adjournment is simply to allow Judge Makhubele to sort out whatever she needs to sort out with you or counsel. But come the 13th November, this tribunal will want to continue and complete its work. It's been outstanding now, according to my understanding of what's going on, for more than 3 years, if I'm not correct. And we would like to complete whatever the tribunal has to do and make our report to the JSC as soon as we can. We were hoping to do it when the JSC convened in October this year, but it looks like that will not be possible now. But we certainly would like to complete whatever it is that we need to do before the next sitting of the JSC, because we are here under the auspices of the JSC, so to speak. I think that you can make clear to Judge Makhubele that we come the 13th November, we will proceed.
Members of the tribunal, I appreciate that the tribunal must decide what it wants to do and make the rules as they want, and it's up to Judge Makhubele to decide what she wants to do with the outcome of her discussions with the state attorney. I think we can leave it at that.
Yeah, but if you could make it clear that we would like to proceed, and we will, as far as possible, proceed on the 13th of November with whatever evidence is available, and we will take it from there. But subject to anything that is said by the evidence leader, that seems to be the view of the tribunal, that the matter will then be adjourned to the 13th November to give Judge Makhubele the opportunity to sort out representations. But come the 13th of November, we will simply proceed with it, whatever the situation may be, and then we will make our recommendations to the JSC. Sorry, yes?
May I just find out, before we go to the evidence leader, Chairperson, Mr. Mausa, you say Judge Makhubele will try and resolve difficulties with the state attorney. Can I have a better understanding? Will she do that immediately now? Is it possible for us to know, say, by the 29th of September, whether we're going on or not going on? But is it not in the interest of a tribunal at least to know where we stand as soon as possible?
Judge, would you
It may
think-
be a difficult thing, but speaking for myself, I did mention that complaint was lodged 2019. In your correspondence to us last week, you said Judge Makhubele only knew about the complaint on the 2020s, when the complaint was lodged the previous year, 2019. And that she's in a hurry to finalize this matter. But I've been sitting with this document since 2021, and time is moving on, and things change in life. We get older, memories change, but is it possible just to tell us that, man, she's going to start today, tomorrow, long before this date of the 29th of September, the tribunal will have an idea whether to continue reading these bulky papers and prepare and come back here, or whether do we leave it to what the chairperson said, that come the 13th of November, we will go on. It doesn't sound ideal. One would need to have assurances that go on with these papers, prepare. This is what's going to happen. We were supposed to be here yesterday, but we didn't come yesterday, and we're sitting today, the 1st of August. I'm not pressing you into a corner, but is it possible just to give the tribunal, through the secretariat here, evidence leader, some idea? Judge Makhubele will sort out the mess with the state attorney or whoever is involved there.
Thank you, Judge. I just want to preface my response, and I'll give it to Judge Makhubele. She's asked to respond directly to you. Just want to preface my response by saying we appreciate that the matter we're almost on the third year. But we must also bear in mind that for 2 years, the matter has been with either the JSC or the Chief Justice. So she's not responsible for the delays, but that's for another day. Could I give it to Judge Makhubele to deal with what you...
Please don't get me wrong. I didn't say she's responsible.
Thank you.
We can go into the records, but it's not an issue for now. I'm looking ahead, as always.
Thank you. Judge.
Before Judge Makhubele replies, I just want to find out if there's anything anybody else would like to say.
I think Judge Mushidi has already indicated that what he was indicating was not by any means attributing the delays to Judge Makhubele. So, yeah, I think that needs to be cleared.
Thank you. Is there anything from the evidence team?
Thank you, Chairperson. It's unfortunate that we find ourselves in the position that we are in at the present moment. And I say this taking into consideration that legal representation is always preferred for Judge Makhubele at these proceedings. But one of the things that does make it difficult is that this is not the first time we are dealing with the issue of legal representation for Judge Makhubele. But further than that, in November 2022, we did have a pre-trial conference where we discussed some of our issues. And it is for the first time that at this stage we learned that there is a problem with regards to legal representation. But be as it may, we acknowledge the issue that legal representation is vital in such a matter, and we are amenable to a postponement in the matter to 13 November as discussed with the colleagues. And we appreciate the ruling that the tribunal has made in that the matter will proceed on the 13th of November, as we do require some sort of finality in regards to the matter. On that note, I'm amenable to the postponement in the matter. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, President, and honorable members of the tribunal. I just want to respond to just one issue that was mentioned, or rather, the assurance that the Honorable Judge Mushidi sought from me. With regard to the engagement with the state attorney, I have already started. As my attorney has already indicated, the matter has been escalated to the Solicitor General. I spoke to him, I think it's 2 weeks ago, and he informed me that the challenges have been brought to his attention. So he is on the matter, and I will definitely make a follow-up. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Makhubele. Is there anything else that anybody wish to add?
So,
Yes.
sorry, President. Just one thing briefly. We'd mentioned the dates for the postponement to evidence, but that we would also talk about agreeing further dates for argument thereafter. We haven't agreed on those dates yet, but can we agree amongst ourselves and let the tribunal know?
Yes, but what must be made clear is that this tribunal wishes and will want to proceed come the 13th November.
For the complainant, we align ourselves with the evidence needed on that score.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Well, all that needs to happen now is to just place on record that there has been a discussion between the tribunal and the representatives, and it has been tentatively agreed, and the agreement will now be placed on record that the tribunal will stand adjourned for further evidence come the 13th November 2023, and that the tribunal will wait for a response from attorneys representing Judge Makhubele by not later than Friday, the 29th of September, as to what the position is going to be as to legal representation for Judge Makhubele. Is there anything else anybody wish to add?
On behalf of Judge Makhubele, we are most grateful to the tribunal for accommodating us. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything from the evidence leaders?
Nothing else to add, Chairperson?
Thank you very much. Well, you wanted to.
Maybe I should discuss with you in chambers about the transcript that we received. We've got two. I don't know which is which.
Yeah, we got to, yeah. Very well then. That's all that will take place for this session. The matter then stands adjourned for any further evidence to the 13th November 2023. Thank you. We stand adjourned.